All right, Justin, when you're hungry, sometimes there's nothing better than a really good sandwich. Am I right?
Why'd you say me?
Because you're always hungry.
I am always hungry.
Yeah.
I'll be over there in a minute.
And you know what they say, the bread can make all the difference. Amber Diamond of Pueblo was a top finalist in the Fleischmann's Yeast Sensational Sandwich Bread contest at the State Fair. That's a mouthful, so to speak, and she's here with a recipe for incredibly good white bread rolls with sweet and spicy barbecue pulled beef. Wow.
Wow.
That sounds fantastic. So this is a new contest at the fair, right? They haven't done this in the past, and you've never entered a recipe contest at the fair.
No.
And you were a top finalist, right?
I was. I took fourth. I was an honorable mention.
That is fantastic. And I know this is, in case you didn't know, it's the 250th birthday of the sandwich. So that was kind of the theme. And you kind of took that to a whole nother level, making it diabetic friendly, right?
I did. I have family members that are diabetic, and so I adjust a lot of my recipes to fit their needs, so that way they don't have to feel bad about being at Thanksgiving and stuff and eating desserts and breads. So.
And I love bread. I mentioned this before. It's one of my favorite things. Now, you had to use the yeast to make the bread, right?
Yes,
and I know you have some yeast, the dough.
I do.
Take a look at this. We're going to get a shot of this right now. He's going to get it from above, so you don't have to even turn it. But so this, it rises. How long does it need to rise?
It takes an hour. And then
only an hour. That's pretty fast.
And then you punch it down and you shape it into your rolls.
Okay.
And then you let them rise again so it doubles in size.
Oh, okay. And then you bake them. Do they cook pretty fast in the oven?
Oh, yeah, 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay. So this is your bread recipe, and you decided, you know, I make these all the time, right?
Right.
They're good. Family likes them, so why not enter them? And you did very, very well. And you were judged on the bread flavor, the bread texture, and then the sandwich filling, as well as appearance and creativity. So what filling did you choose?
I did a barbecued, it's a sweet and spicy barbecued pulled beef.
That's what this is right here.
That one is pork. Sometimes I do pork, sometimes I do beef. I've also done chicken.
Okay.
Leftover turkey after Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Thinking ahead. That's
extra dinner rolls, you know.
And so how many you've got, one recipe yields how many sandwiches about?
It does about 18, 24.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. It depends on the size of that you make your rolls.
Now this, as you mentioned, was the first time you entered, so you got to enter again next year, right?
Right.
Right. And there's so many varieties. I know that the bread, why did the bread one, you know, kind of capture your interest? Because you've done the bread before? Or?
I did a couple. I entered a couple different contests this year, but I really love baking. Okay. Anything baking. And everybody that I ever make this bread for absolutely loves it. And when we get invited to dinner, that's what
that's what they say,
call
bring
me and say, hey, Amber, you're on bread duty.
Now, a lot of people I know when it comes to baking and bread in particular, with the altitude, do you have to kind of switch it up a little bit? Or I know you're in Pueblo, so you're a lower altitude than we are up here, but does that affect the bread?
It affects like the rising a little bit and the consistency with like a little bit of flour. You might need a little more flour being at a higher altitude, but most of the bread, it rises pretty. You have to more worry about the humidity.
Oh, got it. Humidity
affects it more.
Okay, so since we're so dry here, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Well, it smells fantastic. Congratulations to you.
Well, thank you.
And we have this recipe on our website, fox21news.com, but you can also check out a lot more recipes. That's breadworld.com. You see it there on your screen. And again, fox21news.com, you can find Amber's delicious recipe, especially if you have diabetics in your family. This is definitely a winner in more ways than one. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you.
Look forward to seeing what you do next year at the fair. Okay, thanks so much. Time now to check the forecast.